A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to my channel yet again. And more importantly, today, this is quite a day for me, but it's October 30th, 2020. Today's pretty much a big day for me. And I mean a really big day. But I will have a separate video up of my channel pretty soon, specifically talking about what's going to be happening. But for now, I might as well get back into some more unofficial podiatry before any of that stuff goes down. It's a kind of early in the morning for me, so of course, my voice is not really there yet. So of course, let's just get into it. Today on Unofficial Podiatry, I'll be talking a little bit about the different kinds of Injinjis that I currently own. I do have quite a few pairs of different styles, so I might as well talk about each of them individually. There's currently 4 that I have here with me to talk about, and coincidentally, they're pretty much all monochrome. Well, except for these. There's the red tag you can see right there. Well, anyways, I'll talk about these all independently, because after all, since the cold weather is coming up soon, I reckon that anyone out there who does wear Injinjis would probably get the message that I'm trying to send out to people as much as possible. So anyways, I'll pretty much just start with, well, the smallest in size. This is basically the no-shows of Injinjis. This is in that nice sort of light gray and dark gray mixture. And I will say for sure that, well, many of the no-shows that I got, they're pretty much perfect for me because of, well, how stretchy they are. Oh man. There's probably tons of different socks out there that happen to stretch out, but after all, conventional sock I just simply call a fittin', because it's technically a foot mitten. It envelops the foot rather than anatomically being correct in that instance. This is what you'd call a sock, in any ways. It's anatomically perfect fitting, especially in my ways. So, of course, this right here, this is the no-show variety, and it's specifically known for this little flap at this part of the end here. Right around there, that's pretty much where the ankle would probably come about. Depending on how high or low you like to have no-shows go down, I usually like to keep mine as high because I sometimes worry about the ankle like rubbing against the side of the shoe, depending on what kind of shoe I usually wear. Whether they're low top or high top or anything like that, I'm pretty sure you might have different tastes in them, in different shoes of any sorts. But of course, sock selection, I'd certainly recommend to have the no-shows whenever you're going on a low top shoe of some sort, like an athletic shoe, per se. And I do have quite a lot of pairs of those, so that is justifiable in any way. Well, anyways, the no-shows, they're pretty darn good. Specifically because of the material composition, and also because, well, they're probably perfect for summer, because whenever you're out there getting athletic shoes, not having as much clothing on like this, then, well, I'd say it's a good call. But now I'm going to move on over to the mid-weight / over the ankle socks right here. This one again is in a sort of monochrome with a light gray and a white this time, rather than dark gray being the other color right here. And this is by far the oldest pair of over the ankle Injinjis that I currently have that are not the mid-weight variety with the thick cuff. Of course, if you don't remember back when I first talked about my Injinjis, it's been more than 3 years now, but you know what? Looking back at those moments, there certainly have been a lot that I've done for a while now. And with this pair of the over the ankle, I'd say that these ones, they're also pretty darn good here. They're also really darn flexible due to their material composition. They're slightly more flexible than that of, well, the no-shows. So of course you can pretty much twist it in many different ways, and sometimes it doesn't really seem to find an end to it. So in a way, I will say that the over the ankle variety, whether they're mid-weight or they're not, they certainly do well in many cases. I'd certainly recommend these for summer as well. Although you could probably also wear them in spring and autumn because, well, they're a little bit more thicker than the no-show variety. But now let's get on to the tall ones right here. This one again is in monochrome, and this is basically the new wool variety where it's basically a lot thicker, specifically so that way you could probably get into winter and the like without having to worry too much about how foot temperature is going down. So of course with this variety right here, this is basically the new wool variety of the, well, the crew length. But I will say that for socks like this, in the dark gray, pretty much, I'd certainly take these out for winter, because after all, it's coming in less than 2 months. So I could say for sure that this is probably what I'd recommend mostly for the winter. However, if you were to get into the most extremist of temperatures, then well, not only would you want very thick material composition, but you'd also want something that is at a more manageable length to not only protect both feet from the cold, but also most of the rest of your legs. This is the over-the-calf variety, and this is just plain black with an embroidered dark gray Injinji banner on the top of it. And of course there's also the usual Injinji tag that's stuck to the side, which they do allow with their socks. So of course it made sense for this to happen as well. But overall, I will say that my experiences with very, very cold weather, they have been pretty bad throughout the last few years. But in these last few years, Injinji has come to change the way I feel about going outside, worrying about cold feet. Whether if I get frozen by stepping into a very icy pond or something else entirely, Injinji's always come by to help me out with that sort of problem. And the over-the-calf variety happens to do a pretty darn good job at keeping the lower legs warm at all costs. And it's mostly because of its compression style, so that way you can get better blood flow here and there. And so, I will say for sure that some socks are pretty much perfect with winter, others can be pretty good for summer. But no matter what the choice you make here, Injinji, of course, has a pretty big variety for you to choose from. Many different styles, many different color schemes, many different themes, different types of graphics and embroiderments of some sorts. But no matter what the cost, no pun intended, I will say that Injinji can cover all basic needs. If you're in a survival situation, or if you're just living out a daily lifestyle of yours that you like to have, then well, I consider to pick up a pair of any of these, regardless of what style it is, to see if you see fit. Wearing Injinjis, it may not be for everybody, but it doesn't matter the taste. They'll always be here because there's always going to be people who are very concerned about their foot health, like myself. And so, that's pretty much it for now. I can't really say that I will in fact have more unofficial podiatry within the coming months. I'll hopefully get some brainstorming down as soon as I can. But until then, if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.